Welcome to Harness Up with Haste Draft Horses and Mules, where we talk all things related to these magnificent animals. From their history and uses to training and care, we cover it all. Join us as we chat with experts and enthusiasts in the field, share stories and tips, and explore the world of draft horses and mules. Whether you're a seasoned owner or just curious about these gentle giants, this podcast is for you. So harness up and join Haste Draft Horses and Mules for some lively discussions about these God-given creatures.
Good morning, everybody. We're still here in Louisville, Kentucky this morning, and I'm just getting ready to check out of the hotel, but luckily I was down at the bar Friday night, and overheard a conversation, and being the kind of fella I am, I heard a pretty good conversation, so I walked over and introduced myself, and glad I did. So today on the show, I've got a guest with me named Mr. Michael McMillan. Michael, how are you, buddy?
I'm great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you here, man. Many of y'all probably don't know Michael, but Michael actually has a horse in the Kentucky Oaks coming up this Friday, and we're real glad to have him on the podcast. It's a filly named Where's My Ring? Tell us where that come from and how this filly come about, Michael.
Okay, so we actually bought a house in Del Mar in 2021, and we just kind of right by the Del Mar track. And so really it's the opposite of what you would think. People say, oh, you bought a house in Del Mar to race horses. That's not really how it worked. We actually bought a house in Del Mar, and then we started going to the racetrack and just started kind of getting excited about horses. You know, Stephanie, her favorite animal is a horse. So I went down there and we started following the horses, and I went in the office and said, how do I claim a horse, buy a horse? And basically what happened is that I met a lady in the office, and she introduced me to a couple of different trainers, and I interviewed a few trainers. But we were actually looking for, what we were looking for was a trainer that we could be like family with. I didn't want one of the big trainers where we were just a number or we were a syndicate. We wanted to be involved. So we found Kelly and Val Brinkerhoff. So had a few of those horses, and then we claimed our first horse September 11th of 2021, and then they went to the Keeneland auction in September of 2021, and we bought two horses. We bought a colt and a filly, and the filly was Where's My Ring?
So you never owned a racehorse. This is your first time. Did you have a horse background at all?
No, not at all.
That's awesome. That's so cool, man. So you just wanted to do it, something you always wanted to do.
It was just, I tell people it was a hobby. It's just a hobby because I work a lot and I travel a lot, and it was a way to kind of get life-work balance, and I'm interested in it. I'm very competitive, and it was just something I thought would be fun.
What's your background? Like, where are you from?
I was born in Los Angeles, California, and then I grew up in Arizona, went to Arizona State University, and then I've been in Las Vegas since 2005.
We was in Vegas June last year. First time I ever been to Vegas. That was a super wild experience. It was something to see.
Yeah, it's a great place to live. It's growing a ton, but it's a great place.
So you drawed yesterday for the race?
Last night was the draw for the Oaks and for the Kentucky Derby.
And you got the 3 position?
We got the 3. We're happy with that.
How does it feel to be in this? I mean, I love the Kentucky Derby. I love horse racing. But to be actually on a horse that actually got drawed in the Oaks, that's something. I mean, it's got to feel so crazy.
It's been fun. We've had a lot of fun with it. We have 18 friends and family coming in. We have they've taken really good care of us at the Oaks. We have a full-time driver for a week. They gave us a suite with 18 people. Everything's paid for. They've been absolutely amazing. I don't know. I try to look at it. It's really exciting. When come race day, it'll be that's when it really the nerves kick in and stuff. Right now, we're just trying to enjoy the moment and just be in the moment and enjoy each other and time together and the memories we're creating. We really try to focus on that. I try not to get too high or too low, but during the race, it'll be crazy.
It's going to be unreal. What are you going to do after the race? Like, what if this horse wins? What's your next step?
I don't know right now. We've been getting a lot of phone calls to purchase her, to breed Where's My Ring, and I basically tell everybody that right now, don't distract us from enjoying this moment and this week and and bringing us together. I don't want to be distracted. After the race, we'll listen to people, but the horse is not for sale. It's too sentimental to me and to Stephanie. There's a story behind why the horse's name wears my ring. So she's just not for sale. Now, I want to know, breed her possibly, but she's going to be with us the rest of her life.
I want to know that story.
Steph and I were separated September of 2021, and I had separation because of some different reasons, not because we didn't get along, not because we didn't love each other. There was some other factors going on. So, I left, and I left Stephanie in the house with the 3 kids, and I basically was driving, and I got a phone call, and I answered the phone, and she's like, "Where's my ring?" So I was like, "That's a good name for a horse." So we were separated for a year and a half. Now we are back together. So the nice thing is that when we win this race, people can see the ring.
Well, the reason we're looking at the camera too, but Miss Stephanie is sitting over here in front of us, and when we said that, we both kind of looked at her. So leading up to this race, what was your first race you had with this horse?
So her first race was in Del Mar, and that was I think it was around May. No, it was July. It was July of 2022, which as a 2-year-old. And she basically, she had to go to the emergency room. And at first we thought it was colic, but we thought it was colic. Then the insurance company didn't want to insure her because they said it was colic. So we went back and looked at the records, and the vet was really wrong saying it was colic. It was actually ulcers. So she had ulcers. She was delayed. Her first race, she lost by probably a fingertip, and it was really, really close. And after that, she developed more ulcers again. So she's been in a couple different grade 3 races and grade 2 races, and she's done always fairly well. In the Breeders' Cup, she finished 8th, but she lost a shoe out of the gate. So we've had it's really unlucky is a better way to say it. We were really unlucky with what happened. But after she lost that first race, people were calling me, "You won that race. You need to get lawyers." And I said, "No, I'm not going to get a bad name in the industry." I said, "Good things will come to us." And we won an Aqueduct by 4 1/4 lengths. And really we won that race going away. And we really just believe she's the best horse on the field.
I hope she is. That would be so cool. Which I'm for her now automatically because you're doing this with me. I mean, I'm a Where's My Ring fan now in the Oaks. But so she was racing in New York here recently. I seen on her stat.
Yeah, we have a team of people. So Val is the trainer. Val Brinkerhoff, and Kelly is his wife, and we're all really close. And they haven't had a horse get to this level. So I have a friend, Mike Nordyke. He's a good friend of mine. His dad they've been in horse racing for 30 years, and they know horsing really well. They introduced me to Mike Patricks and Derek Landon, and they're handicappers. They know the industry. So we kind of positioned ourselves. Our goal was to get to the Oaks. We raced in Santa Anita on March, I think it was March 9th or March 6th. I'm not sure. It was a Saturday. And we got second place behind Kinza, who was known as one of the best fillies in the country. She can't race in the Oaks because it's a Bob Baffert horse, and as we know, he's banned from Churchill Downs. So we were trying to, by using the team, we decided the best method to get to the Oaks was to race in Aqueduct. So we flew her on a Wednesday. I chartered a plane, flew her on a Wednesday, and then she raced April 6th in Aqueduct, and she won. And that got us 100 points to finish 125 points.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. So you like Churchill Downs first time here?
We were overwhelmed. It's pretty amazing. And we heard this is the first year that it was remodeled, and it's 150th Derby. So I think all the stars are aligning. We have a lot of people pulling for us, and we do believe she's the best horse.
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome. I couldn't imagine being in your shoes. It'd just be a crazy thing.
Yeah, I think I haven't been in horse racing my whole life, so I don't think I understand it. I understand if other people keep telling me, you know where you are? Do you know where you are? And we're like, we know where we are. Yeah, it's fun, but I don't think. I like I said, we're trying to enjoy the moment and just savor the memories.
Let's talk about who's mounting that horse. Who's the jockey?
Jose Lascano.
Where's he from? What's his background?
He races an Aqueduct. I don't know a ton about him. The trainers know more about jockeys than we do, because the owners, I'm probably more involved than most owners because I just have a passion for it.
It's awesome.
We really love it. But we had other jockeys in Del Mar. We had a lot of unfortunate luck, like I was telling you. We were 7 wide, 8 wide. She's running further, and Lascano got on her April 6th in Aqueduct, and he just really ran a perfect race. Got out quick, got the rail, shortened how far she had to run, and it just worked out to where, at the end she had the most gas, and she just really just took off.
That's awesome, man. What kind of work did you do in Vegas?
I was in medical device at the time. Now I own my own medical biologics company and a medical billing company.
So you're still owning your company. You're just doing this.
It's a little overwhelming the last couple of months because we had a path, and the path was obviously to get to the Oaks. Now that we're here, we do want to win, and we do expect to win.
Are there plans to buy another racehorse yet?
I have 8. That's enough for now.
You have 8?
We have 8. Yep.
Are they all racing?
One is injured right now, but he'll be back probably in July in Del Mar.
So you ride a lot of horses in Del Mar.
Yeah, we have 3 here now. We have Where's My Ring? We have 2 2-year-olds flying private, and then we have a filly racing next Thursday, Ms. McKenna. So it's her first race ever.
How long are you going to be here in Louisville?
We're actually leaving today, and then I come back on Wednesday morning, and then Stephanie comes back on Thursday, and all friends come in on Wednesday.
Got to go home and take care of a little business first, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm flying to Dallas. I have an office there, so I'm just going to fly there and get a couple days of work done.
That's good. Man, that's awesome. I'm so glad I met you Friday night. That just turned out awesome.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride. Now we just got to finish off the Cinderella story. It's like a movie.
It really is a Cinderella story. I was talking last night. I did a podcast Wednesday night with Pinkston Turf Goods. They're out of Lexington, Kentucky. They make the halters for the Derby.
Oh, okay.
I think they may make them for the Oaks too. Did you get one for the Oaks?
We haven't seen it. We went to the track to see the horses, and we watched Ms. McKenna train, but I didn't see the halter.
Well, you may get one. I know they make them. They're super nice. They were super nice people. But I was last night got another podcast coming up with Mr. Chip Woolley.
Okay.
He is the owner or the trainer for Mind That Bird, the 09 Derby.
Oh, okay.
That was a Cinderella story too.
Yeah, I actually watched that. I watched that movie 50 to 1. Yep. I watched it. That's amazing.
Well, I'm going to fly up to Minnesota here in a few weeks, and he's going to Minnesota after the 15th.
That's great.
He told me to come up, so I'm going to go up and do one with him. So
yeah, I watched that movie. A friend of mine told me to watch it.
Yeah, it's a great, for any horse race lover.
Yeah. Even
if you don't like horse race, that's a good movie.
But I agree.
There's something about the underdogs that catches my attention. I pull for the underdogs.
It's funny because people, we've heard on the racing channels, Cinderella story. We've heard Wild Card. But it's funny. We actually think she's the favorite. So we don't look at it as the underdog. Maybe the story behind we're not in horse racing and we just got into it. It's the first horse I ever bought. I think that's a great story. But we just don't feel that she's the underdog because she had some unfortunate luck. She had an illness and she's peaking right now. If she has her pinnacle race, I don't think any horse comes close.
She's peaking at the right time, at the right race.
I agree. I think she's ready, and she trained Friday, and she had some amazing splits, and she was running solo. There was no one to chase, and her splits were amazing.
And that's good, man. That is great. Let's hear more of this story about you how this came about. I know there's more to it.
So, as I said previously, we went to the track, interviewed some of the higher profile trainers. I just didn't feel a good fit. So, a lady in the office at Del Mar introduced me to Kelly and Val, and it was just an automatic perfect fit for what I wanted. I wanted to be involved. I didn't want to be in a syndicate. I wanted to own the horses outright. So, got the horse, bought 2 horses, as I told you, at Keeneland And the funny thing is that I had no idea what I was doing. Let's just be very clear. They go to the auction in Keeneland, and I'm on the phone with them. I'm at the Las Vegas Raiders game, and I have my phone on, and I have it on FaceTime. And the game was going, but I had a budget of $200,000 for 2 horses. And Val really wanted Where's My Ring because she's obviously Twirling Candy and Tappet. And those are great breeding, and he really wanted her. And so I'm on the phone with FaceTime, and we're all having a good time watching the game, and everybody around us is watching my phone and not watching the game and saying, no, you got to get it. So it went to 100,000. And I really was like, $100,000 is a lot of money. But I didn't know at the time, that's not that much for a horse that goes to the Oaks. So we're sitting there, and the big story now is that you bought a horse at a Raiders game when you really weren't even paying attention and had no idea what you were doing. So it's actually true. That's really what happened. So then after that, the funny thing is that, Kelly said that she had been praying for like 3 months because they only had like, I think 20 horses, and, they wanted more horses. They wanted their business to flourish. And she said she prayed a bunch that they would find a new owner or something would change in their life. She can tell you the story. You can do a pod with them as well. But that's kind of what happened. And it's funny because we weren't even in horse racing. I didn't even know what I was doing. And for some reason, I walked down to the track with a friend of mine, and I liked it. The goal was just to buy a horse or two and claim them, and just to, when we're in Del Mar and the Del Mar track's going to go down there and say we own a horse. So it's not like, I did research and said, oh my God, Val's a great trainer. Like now Val's going to get tons of recognition, which he deserves because he has a horse in the Oaks. But it wasn't like that. I was a nobody, never in horse racing my whole life, but she prayed that somebody would come into her life. And it's just been fun. We've had a lot of fun. We're all like family, and we just, it's great. Like you don't see a lot of owners hanging out with their trainers. We hang out with them all the time.
That's special.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is awesome. I'm sure as all your buddies in Vegas and all your people back home is going to be betting on this race too.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Just curious. I don't know. I've not looked it up, but if you win the Oaks, what's the payout on that?
I think it said that the winner takes home $750,000.
That would be really good.
It would be all right. It'd be good. I'd rather have the win and not have the prize money. But if we win, I'm not going to say no.
How does the horse racing work? Like, you got a trainer, you're an owner, you got a jockey. Does the jockey only get paid if he wins, or how does that work?
The jockey gets paid 10% of the purse.
Okay.
And I think the trainer's the same, actually. So
do you have to pay them, the trainer, like monthly, every month for this?
You do. You pay the trainer per horse. So you pay a certain fee, which causes the feed, them to train, and then you got to pay for the veterinarian.
That $750K though, that puts you ahead.
People laugh, but you can get in horse racing and never win a race. You can get in horse racing, being there for 10 years, never be in a race like this. But I don't know. I just tell people, I think I just positive energy. I think I just manifest winning. I told Kelly and Val after we had talked, I said, we're going to be in a big race. And they kind of looked at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know horse racing. They didn't say it, but they kind of looked at me dumbfounded, and then here we are.
That just kind of shows sometimes positive attitude, good vibes, and just believing in yourself works.
Yeah. I believed in Val, and I believed in the horse. And like I said, we had some bad luck early on, but we just kept saying, okay, we had some bad luck, but we're not going to give up because this horse is good enough. And when the things go the right way and the things start clicking, and we peaked at the right time.
That's awesome. That is. I'm so glad I met you and glad to hear this story. It's a really interesting story.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Do you get to choose like your color schemes and everything on your horse and all that stuff, or how does that go?
Yeah, we do. The silks I chose. I chose the silks. My favorite color is orange, and I chose that. And the K-Max Stables is, my father passed away June 1st of 2021. So I have an Instagram page, and it just says K-Max Stables in memory of Kelly McMillan, my dad. and that it just says owned by Michael McMillan, trained by Val Brinkerhoff. So the K-Mac Stables is really cool because it means something to all of us as well.
Everybody go follow his Instagram. You heard that. Tell them again so they'll know.
It's K-Mac_stables.
You'll probably know a lot more about him too, because this will probably come out in a month from now. I don't know whenever they'll release it, but if he wins that Oaks Friday, a lot of people will know your name.
Yeah, I try to stay private, so we'll have fun. I let Kelly and Stephanie kind of do the social media. It's not really my thing, but I get on there every now and then. But I don't know what I'm doing on.
Yeah, my wife does all of our. So all I do is the YouTube and this and sell horses. So we train and sell draft horses. That's what we do. So actually been to Vegas. That's what brought me to Vegas. I sold a team there, and recently sold a team there in man, if I could pronounce that town. It starts with a P.
Pahrump.
I can't remember.
Pahrump. It's called Pahrump.
I sold it to the Alamo Club and Liquor Outlet. I can't remember the town. Pichoe or
I don't know that one.
It's like north of Vegas a little bit.
Okay, I don't know.
But we was out there and we went through Montana, sold some horses, and I wanted to go to Vegas. I'd never been. So I started Googling, and I found I had 4 horses with me. My ultimate goal, I was going to the Grand Canyon to sell a team to those guys down there, and then I had to go to Texas. So I started Googling, and I found a horse motel right in town in Vegas. I said, there's no way. Call them up. Nicest people you'll ever meet from Cali, moved to Vegas, started this horse motel. We pull up in there, and it is just right in the city. It's great. It's just really, really good. It was great, and we had just the best time. But one thing that blew my mind out there in Vegas, there's no hay. You can't get hay. And I'm like, what are we going to feed these horses?
Yeah.
This woman comes out with a skid steer with a pallet of packages. And I thought it was shavings. And I'm like, we ain't going to feed them pine shavings. It was hay called chaffee.
Oh, wow. I don't even know what that is.
They buy it in bags. It's fermented alfalfa, pure alfalfa ferment. And it's got white knots all in it. They call them yeast clusters. It's supposed to be probiotic, good for the horse. And it was like fermented hay, like silage. I'm like, we can't feed these horses this silage. It'll kill them. And that woman says, trust me. We feed it every day. People come here and buy loads of it from all around Vegas. This is great. I said, well, I'm going to take your word for it because I ain't got no other choice. We split that bag open. One of them draft horses eat a 50-pound bag quicker than I could ever believe. Licked the pan. They loved that stuff. So that's what they feed in Vegas, chaffee. Shout out to you guys out there at that horse motel. I can't remember your names. If you're listening, I'm sorry, but I'm recognizing your business anyway. So super good people. So how long have you lived in Vegas?
Since 2005.
Well,
yeah, and now I kind of live. We basically we have a place in Del Mar, a place in Dallas, and a place in Vegas. So
you're all over the place.
And I go in a triangle, and we're in Utah as well sometimes.
Utah's beautiful. One of my favorite states.
Yeah, just a little cold.
I love the Red Rocks.
I was born in LA and grew up in Phoenix, so the cold doesn't really sit well with me.
Lakers fan?
No. It's probably my least favorite team. I grew up a Dodger fan, but I'm not really big on the Lakers.
Well, I understand that. The old Lakers was
the old Lakers I like, man. Magic Johnson, Cooper, Byron Scott, Kareem. Yeah, I like them.
Favorite racehorse besides your own? I want to know that.
Of all time?
All time.
Zenyatta. We love Zenyatta. We love the way she came from behind. Just sat there 10, 12 lengths back and just almost like stalked the prey and just blew by him every time. It was my favorite horse, not even a close second.
I've been interested in horse racing about 15 years. I don't know a lot about it, but I love watching it and I like to bet on it. It's the kind of thing I like to do a little bit, but my favorite would have to be Mind That Bird. I loved that horse just because it was the story. That's what it was. And I'm so excited about going up there and meeting Chip. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a blast. Yeah, that was a great movie, a great story. But Yeah, Zenyatta, hands down for me. She was just...
I don't know Zenyatta.
Ate the boys. Google, I had Stephanie watch it the other day. Google Zenyatta top 5 performances. The YouTube will come up, and it'll show her top 5 races, and it's...
Now, have you been to Lexington, Kentucky yet?
We have not.
You have to. That's the horse racing capital of the world, man.
Where is that? Where Keeneland is? I don't even.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll be there. We have 3 horses here now. We're probably going to bring 2 more, so we'll probably go between Keeneland. I heard it's only open 6 weeks a year though, which is really.
It is.
And then they have a Turfway. Is that correct as well?
Turfway's in Florence.
Okay. And then somebody said they're building another state of the art track in Kentucky somewhere.
There's hearsay of it, but I heard the other night they're building a quarter horse track.
Yeah, I don't know.
Over in eastern Kentucky, but standard bred racing here has went to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're building tracks everywhere. We just got a brand new track in Corbin, Kentucky called Cumberland.
Okay.
And we got Lexington, the Red Mile. You got the track over in western Kentucky. I can't remember the name of it. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
But Lexington is the horse capital of the world.
Okay, well, we'll definitely be going there soon, I'm sure. We'll have some horses racing there.
It's beautiful. You go through, Louisville is the Kentucky Derby city, but it's not horse country. I'm going to say it here right now. It's not. Like most people in Kentucky, us native Kentuckians, we would be fine if you took Louisville and cut it off Kentucky and give it to Indiana. And Louisville's not Kentucky. It's Kentucky, I guess, because of the Kentucky Derby. But other than that, we're UK basketball fans. Kentucky, we despise Louisville. But I guess Louisville feels the same way about us, so it's all right. But I'm joking. But yeah, that's the way it kind of is sometimes. But no, that Lexington, if you go to Lexington, you have to drive through all the farms, all those old stone fences from way back in the day. You've seen the Kentucky horse fence, the 4-board fence.
No.
Dude, you're missing out. You're missing it.
I told you I'm kind of new to, we're kind of new to the horse racing.
You have got to go to Lexington. That'll be fun.
We'll be here a lot more. We're definitely going to be here a lot more. Like I said, we have 3 horses here now. We're probably going to bring at least 2 more here. And then in the Keeneland auction, we'll end up buying a couple more and leave them here as well. So, but I'll probably stay at the same. I'll probably claim some off that aren't, and then we'll probably stay between 6 and 8. But I love the fact that we get 2 or 3 babies every year because I want to have a chance at the Oaks and the Derby every year. That's kind of the fun of it. The babies are fun, and then if they're like, "Where's my ring?" Then obviously we get to keep her.
After the Oaks, is the Derby the next goal now?
Well, can't do the Derby because it's already, you can only do it when you're 3 years old. So in horse racing, I'm not sure if you know, but they can only go in the Derby of the Oaks at 3 years of age.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't know yet. The talk is kind of if she does really well in this race, Val wants to race her a 1.5 miles. So after this race, probably no matter what happens, if she hits the board, we think she's going to win. But if she hits the board, we're thinking about giving her the Preakness time off, and then the Belmont's a 1.5 miles, and we're thinking about running her against the boys in Belmont.
Really?
It's going to be in Saratoga because Belmont's under construction, but the Belmont Stakes, we're thinking about running her against the boys at 1.5 miles because she just gets better with more distance.
That would be awesome.
That's kind of the goal. And then the Breeders' Cup, hopefully, in November in Del Mar. That's kind of the path right now, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I was talking, I know she can't run the Derby, or, she's already 3. But I was talking like, is your goal after the Oaks maybe another horse coming in?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
You're fine.
But it's always the goal. We have a colt right now, Flying Private. He's 2 years old and he's 16, 3 hands. He is huge and he's growing every day. He's not going to race next week. We're going to probably race him in like a month. Val wants to race him at a longer distance than 5 furlongs, because when they're young, they race shorter and then it goes on. He thinks he thinks that Flying Private has a great long stride and will be good at longer distances. So, I think the goal is always to get to the Derby or the Oaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit the first one pretty quick.
We just got to get a repeat for next year. But, like I said, it's all about It's all about your trainer. We're having fun. We can supply the funds, we can pay the bills, but if you don't have a good trainer to pick out a horse, to train the horse, then you really have no chance,
Coming into the horse industry new, I know a lot of people's really helped you. I mean, you had to have help. But how do you feel you're looked at? Like when you go to Churchill Downs and all these high class, high dollar trainers, like been in it forever, are they respectable to you and nice, treat you good? Or
it's funny because some of my friends asked me the last night after the draw. The draw was over. We went in to eat and just hang out. We didn't stay for the Kentucky Derby draw, just the Oaks draw. But I don't really know anybody. I don't. We aren't doing this for fame, for publicity. We're just doing that. I tell people this. So at first we did it because we wanted it to be a hobby and I want to have work and personal balance. But after like a year of it, I really realized this happened because it brings friends and family together 2 or 3 times a year to create memories. It was just a way for us to get together 2 or 3 times every year. Opening day at Del Mar, if we're in a stakes race, and then stuff like this. We usually have like 30 people, 30, 40 people that come out and support the horse. This is 18 because obviously it's very expensive, and we have a suite with 18 people, so that was all taken care of and paid for. So we could have had more, but it gets really expensive to come to these races.
kind of like a family reunion.
Family and friend reunion, like 2 or 3 times a year. So that's what it's all about, but yeah, I don't really know anybody, to be honest. I can't name one other owner in the industry.
Really? Well, you'll get to know them.
I can name a few trainers. We were fortunate enough when we came out here, we met Kyle Kegg, and he does real estate. He owns a mortgage company. He's into horse racing. We met him at the Breeders' Cup. This is another amazing story. We were 2 tickets short at the Breeders' Cup, and Kelly had to go find some, and she walked over, and the guy was selling them for $200. And she's like, I'm going to go back and get the money. And this guy, Kyle, just kind of said, hey, here's $200. Just take it and get the tickets. So then by him doing that, they exchanged numbers. So now we come here, and Kyle is putting us all up in his houses for no charge.
That's awesome.
So it's just little things like that have been happening. This is just like it is a Cinderella story. I think with everything that's happened and how everything's come together,
Where's my ring is probably just meant to be.
I would have to agree.
You'll probably never sell that horse.
We won't. There's no chance.
You won't be able to.
No. You can invite Stephanie over in a second, and then you can ask her a few questions too about where's my ring.
That'd be cool. Yeah, we'll do that. That's so fun.
But yeah, it's I can't see it. I can't see it happening. Even if we were to breed her or do something, we would never lose control of her, because our goal is when she's done racing, we'll retire and she'll be with us.
And raise future racehorses.
Yep.
I know you may not have thought about it yet, but when you shears her, when you're ready to breed her, have you got a horse you probably thought about it. Have you got a horse in mind?
I think we're having dinner on Sunday with Curlin.
Oh, cool.
They've come to us and they want a stutter. TaylorMade Farms has come to us as well. But I don't know. And I mean, people are saying Flightline, Curlin, those are the horses to stutter too. But it like I said, right now we're just trying to enjoy this week and just get the race, get the win, and then we'll
go back and breed her to American Pharaoh.
I've heard that too. Those are probably the 3 we've heard the most: Flightline, American Pharaoh, and Curlin.
I've seen him. I met him in Lexington at Ashbrook when he was there.
Okay.
I think that was it. Yeah, I know. Justified. Didn't get to see him.
Yeah.
But that was a good horse too. Man, that was a good one. Well, we'll get her over and let her talk about that. Where's that ring? This is Miss Stephanie. Good to meet you. I've met you before, but so tell us about this. Where's my ring? We want to hear the story a little more. There's more to it.
I mean, basically just what Mike said. We got separated for a little bit of time. We were going through some hard stuff, and he had packed up and left, and I started looking through our safe, and I'm like, where is my ring? And so I called him, and I'm like, where's my ring?
That is a good That's a perfect name.
So
I like it.
now it's back and we're here. We're here with the ring and the horse.
Is she your horse or his? Our horse. She's probably your baby, though.
She's a beautiful horse. Super excited to watch her.
I'd say you're ecstatic. I mean, I couldn't imagine being in your shoes. Kind of want to be. I mean, I've always wanted a racehorse too, but that's wild. Well, thank you all for coming, and we sure appreciate you. Anything else y'all want to add? Anything?
Just watch the race and cheer for us.
Hey, we're going to be watching for sure now, but I'd have watched anyway, but I wouldn't have had a connection or knew of anybody. So I'm glad to get to meet you all and glad this come the way it's supposed to. So, all right. So, hey, they're on Instagram and you can watch them in the Kentucky Oaks. And if you follow horse racing, they'll have a lot more horses coming up for you to watch. So thank you all so much as always. Thanks for listening. We sure appreciate every one of you all. And check us out on the World Wide Web, www.drafthorsesandsmulesforsale.com. And if you got social media, you can find us everywhere. So thank you all. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
As another captivating episode of Harness Up with Haste Draft Horses and Mules draws to a close, we extend our sincere gratitude to our listeners for joining us on this enlightening journey. We hope today's discussions have deepened your appreciation and understanding of these magnificent creatures. Remember, the adventure continues beyond this podcast. Stay connected with us on social media and share your stories. For more information and to explore further, visit drafthorsesandsmulesforsale.com. Thank you for being part of our community. Until next time, keep harnessing your curiosity and passion for these God-given creatures. Farewell for now.